The receptionist looks at the screen a little longer than you expected. Then they look up and say they cannot find your reservation. You have just finished a long day of traveling, you are tired, and all you want is your room. Suddenly, a simple hotel check-in feels much harder than it should. And the truth is, checking into a hotel is not only about saying your name, you also need to understand reservations, deposits, breakfast times, room details, and checkout information. So in this episode, we are going to walk through the whole hotel experience together. Just follow the situation, and by the end, you will know what to expect, what to listen for, and how to handle the conversation with more confidence. Let us start from the moment you walk into the lobby. You roll your suitcase toward the front desk. The receptionist smiles and asks how they can help. You simply say that you are checking in. The first thing they usually want to know is whether you have a reservation. You may hear, "Do you have a reservation?" You say yes and give the name on the booking. Then they may ask, "What name is the reservation under?" This means they want the name that was used when the room was booked. You give your last name and wait while they search. Most of the time, the reservation appears right away, but sometimes it does not. The receptionist looks again and says they still cannot find it. This is the moment when many English learners start to panic. But you do not need complicated English to deal with it. You can explain that you booked online. You can show the confirmation on your phone. You can also give them the confirmation number. That is often enough to help them find the booking. Once the reservation appears, the whole situation becomes easier again. The receptionist may confirm how many nights you are staying. They may confirm the room type you booked. They may also ask how many guests will be staying in the room. Then they will usually ask to see your identification. You may hear, "Can I see your ID, please?" You show your passport or another accepted form of identification. Next comes a part that often surprises travelers. The receptionist may ask for a credit card for incidentals. Incidentals are extra charges that are separate from the room price. They can include things like parking, room service, or damage to the room. The hotel may place a temporary hold on your card. This does not always mean that money has been permanently charged. It is often only a temporary authorization. If you are unsure, you can ask whether the amount will be charged or only held. That one question can save a lot of confusion later. After that, the receptionist starts giving you the details of your stay. This part can feel fast because several pieces of information may come one after another. They may tell you your room number. They may say that your room is on the 6th floor. They may point out where the elevators are. They may hand you 1 or 2 key cards. Then comes breakfast information. You may hear that breakfast is served from 7 to 10. They may tell you where the breakfast area is. They may explain how to connect to the hotel internet. Sometimes the password is printed on the key card holder. Sometimes you need your room number and last name to connect. Then they may tell you the checkout time. You might hear that checkout is at 11. That means you should leave the room by 11 in the morning. If several details come too quickly, it is completely fine to ask again. You can ask them to repeat the checkout time. You can ask where breakfast is served. You can ask whether the internet is included. You can also ask whether the hotel has a gym or a swimming pool. Now imagine that you arrived earlier than expected. The receptionist checks the system and tells you that your room is not ready yet. They may say that check-in starts at 3. That can be disappointing when you are tired, but there is usually a simple solution. You can ask whether the hotel can store your luggage. Most hotels can keep your bags while you wait. Then you are free to get something to eat or walk around nearby. A little later, you return to the front desk. This time, your room is ready. You pick up your key card and take the elevator upstairs. Finally, you open the door and put your suitcase down. For a moment, everything feels perfect. Then you notice that the room is much warmer than you expected. You try the air conditioning, but nothing happens. Now you have another real hotel conversation to handle. You call the front desk from your room. You explain that the air conditioning does not seem to be working. You can simply say that the room is very warm and the air conditioning is not working. The receptionist may ask whether you have tried changing the temperature setting. They may offer to send someone upstairs to take a look. You might hear that maintenance will come up shortly. Maintenance means the staff who repair problems in the hotel. If the problem can be fixed quickly, great. If not, the hotel may offer you another room. They may ask whether you would like to change rooms. If you change rooms, they may prepare a new key card for you. Now imagine another common hotel problem. It is late at night, but the room next door is still very loud. You try to ignore it for a while, but the noise continues. You call the front desk again and explain that there is a lot of noise next door. You can ask whether they can help with the situation. You do not need to sound angry. Clear and polite English is usually enough. The next morning feels much easier. You wake up, go downstairs, and head toward breakfast. Someone may ask for your room number before you enter. You give the number and find a table. After breakfast, you realize that you would like a little more time before leaving. You go to the front desk and ask about late checkout. A late checkout means leaving later than the normal checkout time. You can ask whether late checkout is available. They may say yes, they may tell you there is an extra fee, or they may say it is not available that day. Hotel availability changes from day to day, so the answer can be different every time. Eventually, it is time to leave. You bring your luggage back down to the lobby. You return your key cards at the front desk. The receptionist may ask whether everything was okay with your stay. You can give a short and simple answer. They may ask whether you want a printed receipt or an email receipt. If there are extra charges on the bill, this is a good time to look at them. If you do not recognize a charge, you can politely ask what it is for. Before you leave, you may also want the hotel to store your luggage for a few hours. This is useful when your flight or train does not leave until later. Now think about the whole experience. You checked in, solved a reservation problem, understood the hotel details, handled a room issue, and checked out. None of those conversations required perfect English. They mostly use short and practical phrases that hotel staff say every day, and once you know what usually happens, the whole experience feels much less intimidating. If you ever hear these phrases at a hotel, many of them may already sound familiar. If you found this helpful, come back anytime and listen again. The more familiar these phrases become, the easier real conversations will feel. If you would like more real-life English like this, stick around and subscribe. See you in the next episode.